Think you know the EYFS? Alright, let's test that. Because in this video, I'm going to give you 15 EYFS questions. We're starting nice and easy, then we're stepping it up. And by the end, we're going into questions that will separate the confident practitioners from the people who just say, yeah, I know the EYFS. So no Googling, no pausing to check the answer. I want your honest score. You'll get 5 easy questions, 5 medium questions, and 5 pro-level questions. And I want you to comment your score at the end because I'm genuinely interested to see how many early years practitioners, managers, nursery owners and room leaders can get close to full marks. Some of these you'll know instantly. Some of them might make you second guess yourself, and some of them are the exact kind of questions that show whether you really understand the EYFS or whether you've just heard the words before. But as always, before we get into all of that, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel Open Nursery with myself, Kurt Liania. On this channel, I help people open nurseries, run nurseries, prepare for Ofsted, understand the EYFS and build strong early years settings. And today we're doing something slightly different. This is an EYFS quiz for practitioners. The aim is not to catch you out. The aim is to help you think, refresh your knowledge and maybe realize which parts of the EYFS you're really confident with and which parts you might need to revisit. So grab a pen, keep score, and let's start with the easy round. Question 1. How many areas of learning and development are there in the EYFS? Is it A, 5, B, 6, C, 7 or D, 8? You've got 5 seconds. The answer is C, 7. Areas of learning and development in the EYFS. These are split into prime areas and specific areas, which we'll come into in a moment. So if you got that one right, that's a nice easy start. Question 2. What is a staff to child ratio for children under 2 in a group-based nursery setting? Is it A, 1 adult for every 2 children, B, 1 adult for every 3 children, C, 1 adult for every 4 children, or D, 1 adult for every 5 children? Again, you've got 5 seconds. The answer is B, 1 adult to every 3 children. For babies under 2, the usual ratio is 1 member of staff for every 3 children, and this is why baby rooms are often the most expensive to run, because you need more staff for fewer children. Now question 3. Which one of these is one of the prime areas of learning? A, literacy, B, mathematics, C, communication language, or D, understanding of the world? It's C, communication and language. Communication and language is one of the 3 prime areas. The prime areas are the foundation that supports children's wider learning and development. Moving on to question 4. Which document sets the standards for learning, development and care for children from birth to 5? Is it A, the National Curriculum, B, the EYFS, C, the SEND Code of Practice, or D, the Ofsted Education Inspection Framework? The answer is B, the EYFS. Earliest foundation stage sets the standard that earliest practitioners must follow for children from birth to 5 years. A final one for the easy round. Question 5. What should practitioners do if they have a safeguarding concern about a child? A, wait and see if it happens again. B, only tell the parent. C, follow your setting's safeguarding procedures. Or D, ignore it if there is no proof. The answer is C. You follow your setting safeguarding procedures. You do not need to investigate yourself. Your role is to notice, record, report and follow the correct safeguarding procedure for your setting. Okay, that's the easy round. If you got 5 out of 5, that's a good start. But don't get too comfortable yet. Those questions were the warm-up. That was the I work in early years and I've definitely heard of the EYFS round. Now we're going on to the medium questions. This is where you might need to think a little bit more, because these next questions are the ones where people might know the answer, but when the options come up, you start doubting yourself. And this is where your real EYFS knowledge starts to show. So update your score. You should have a mark out of 5, and now let's see if you can keep that score strong. Starting with question 6. Which of these areas are the 3 prime areas of learning? Is it literacy, maths, understanding of the world, communication and language, physical development, personal, social and emotional development, literacy, physical development and expressive art and design, or maths, communication, language and understanding of the world? Again, you've got 5 seconds. The answer is B. Communication, language, physical development, and personal, social, and emotional development. These are called the prime areas because they are particularly important for children's development, relationships, learning, and confidence. If these areas are weak, it often affects everything else. Question 7. What is the usual staff to child ratio for 2-year-olds in a group-based nursery setting? Is it A. 1 adult to every 4 children, B. 1 adult to every 5 children, C. 1 adult to every 6 children, or D. 1 adult to every 8 children? Again, 5 seconds. The answer is B. 1 adult to every 5 children. For 2-year-olds, the usual ratio is 1 member of staff for every 5 children. This is one of those ratios every practitioner and nursery owner should know because it affects staffing, safety, planning and profit. You might have got confused because it used to be 1 to 4. And if you ever struggle working out ratios, I've got a free nursery ratio calculator on my website where you just enter the number of children by age group and it automatically works out how many staff you need. It's been used by thousands of nurseries and I'll leave a link to it in the description. Question 8. What is the progress check at age 2 mainly used for? A. To decide whether a child can move rooms. B. To review a child's development and share a short written summary with parents. C. To test children before they start school. Or D. To compare children against each other. Yes, the answer is B. To review a child's development and share a short written summary with parents. The 2-year progress check focuses especially on the prime areas. It helps practitioners and parents understand where the child is doing well and where they may need extra support. Question 9. Which of these is not one of the specific areas of learning? Is it A. Literacy, B. Mathematics, C. Expressive art and design, or D. Behavior management? The answer is D. Behavior management. Behavior is obviously something practitioners support every day, but it's not one of the 4 specific areas of learning. The 4 specific areas of learning are literacy, mathematics, understanding of the world, and expressive art and design. And finally, question 10. What does the EYFS say about observations and assessments? Is it A. Practitioners must write long observations every day. B. Practitioners should assess children once a year. C. Assessment should be based on practitioners' knowledge of the child and should not create unnecessary paperwork. Or D. Children should be formally tested every term. The answer is C. Assessments should help practitioners understand children's learning and development, but it should not turn into endless paperwork. A good practitioner is always observing, thinking, adapting, and supporting children, not just filling in forms for the sake of it. Right. That's the medium round done. At this point, you should have a score out of 10. If you're sitting at 8, 9, or 10, you're doing well. But now we're going into the pro round. This is where the questions become a bit more practical because knowing the EYFS isn't just about remembering random facts. It's about understanding what those facts actually mean in a real nursery. Ratios, safeguarding, assessment, responsibilities, what staff need to know, what managers need to understand, and what Ofsted would expect you to be clear on. So this is the round where you find out whether you just know the basics or whether you can actually apply the EYFS properly. 5 questions left. This is where your score can either survive or completely fall apart. So let's go. Question 11. For children aged 3 and over in a registered early years setting, what is the usual ratio if there's no QTS, EYPS or EYTS working directly with children? Is it A. 1 adult to every 6 children, B, 1 adult to every 8 children, C, 1 adult to every 10 children, or D, 1 adult to every 13 children. The answer is B, 1 adult to every 8 children. For children aged 3 and over in a standard group-based nursery setting, the ratio is usually 1 adult to 8 children. But there is a situation where this can increase, and that brings us nicely onto the next question. When can the ratio for children aged 3 and over increase to 1 adult to every 13 children in a registered early years provision? Is it A, when the room leader has worked in childcare for 5 years, or B, when a person with QTS, EYPS or EYTS is working directly with the children, or C, when the nursery is rated good or outstanding, or D, when all children are funded 3-year-olds? The answer is B, when the person has a qualified teacher status, early years professional status, or early years teacher status, is working directly with the children. This is where people sometimes get confused. It is not just because someone is qualified. It is about the right status or qualification, and that person must be working directly with the children. So if you're using this ratio in a nursery, you need to understand the rule properly and make sure you're applying it correctly. Question 13. If a practitioner is worried about a child's progress in a prime area, what should they do? A, wait until the child is older. B, discuss concerns with parents and agree how to support the child. C, move the child to another room. Or D, stop planning activities for that child. The answer is B. Discuss concerns with parents and agree how to support the child. The EYFS is not just about spotting concerns. It's about working in partnership with parents and using your professional judgment to support the child properly. That could include adapting activities, giving extra support, working with the SENCO, or involving other professionals if needed. And the penultimate question, which of these best describes the role of the designated safeguarding lead? A, they are the only person responsible for safeguarding. B, they take lead responsibility for safeguarding and liaise with local safeguarding agencies. C, they only deal with accidents. D, they only speak to parents about behaviour. The answer is B. The designated safeguarding lead takes lead responsibility for safeguarding and liaises with relevant agencies, but safeguarding is still everybody's responsibility. Every practitioner needs to be alert, understanding the setting procedures, and know what to do if they're worried about a child. And the final question, question 15. Which statement is most accurate? A, the EYFS only applies to nurseries. B, the EYFS only applies to children aged 3 and 4. C, the EYFS applies to early providers caring for children from birth to 5. Or D, the EYFS is optional guidance for nurseries. The answer is C. The EYFS applies to early providers caring for children from birth to 5 years. It applies across early provisions, including nurseries, preschools, childminders, and reception classes. So that's all 15 questions. How did you do? Let's see where you landed. If you got 0 to 5, don't worry. You're either new to EYFS or you probably need a proper refresher. If you got 6 to 10, you've got a decent foundation, but there are probably a few areas you need to tighten up on. If you got 11 to 13, that's strong. You clearly understand a lot of the EYFS. And if you got 14 or 15, you're a pro. You're either very experienced, very well trained, or you've definitely been paying attention. But here's the thing, knowing the answer in a quiz is one thing, applying it properly in a nursery is another, because in real practice, the EYFS is not just about knowing that there are 7 areas of learning or remembering a ratio. It's about how staff use that knowledge every day, how you plan, how you supervise children, how you respond to concerns, how you communicate with parents, and how you keep children safe, and how confidently you can explain your practice when someone asks you why you do what you do. That's why staff training is useful, because good training doesn't just give staff information, it helps you to feel more confident, more consistent, and more prepared. So if you're a nursery owner, manager, deputy, room leader, or practitioner, and you want to make sure that you or your staff have strong knowledge, especially around safeguarding, I do offer training through Open Nursery. I'll leave a link in the description for my safeguarding training, and I'll also link my free nursery ratio calculator. The calculator is really useful because instead of trying to work out ratios manually, you can simply enter how many children you have in each age group, and it will calculate how many staff you need. It's been used thousands of times, and it's a really helpful tool for owners, managers, and practitioners. And if you're open open a nursery, or you're already running one and you want support with Ofsted staffing, compliance, or setting up your systems properly, you can also get in contact with me using the links below. Because whether you're just starting out, preparing for your Ofsted registration visit, or trying to improve your setting, having the right knowledge and support can make the process feel much clearer. Now, before you go, make sure you comment your score out of 15. And also tell me what your current role is. Are you a childminder, nursery practitioner, nursery manager, owner, whatever it is, drop a comment and let me know. And be honest, did you get caught out by any of the questions? Want me to do more quizzes? Drop a comment about this as well and let me know what sort of quiz you want me to do next. And if you know another practitioner who thinks they know the EYFS, send this video to them and see what score they get. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless.